Welcome back to Views with Hughes, Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and story of the hour. Gina Carano hits back at Mark Ruffalo over rules for thee and not for me. So let's go and get right into it. Okay, so as you all know, Gina Carano, she was fired from Lucasfilm over what was then Twitter, which is now X and stuff, for the posts and stuff that was up there, where she was accused of comparing the Holocaust and stuff to different events of today. Okay, but then we've also known that there's other actors and stuff who are males and stuff who went on ahead and got political. But the thing is, Gina Carano doesn't share their political beliefs and stuff, where she's conservative, whereas the rest of them, well, they are hardline liberals. Okay. So this time we got here Mark Ruffalo. Okay, so Mark Ruffalo, he actually quoted this tweet from a post that was dated July 1st, where it says here that March 1933, the Enabling Act becomes law in Germany, giving the chief executive power to enforce his own laws without checks and balances. The passing of the act marked the formal transition from democratic republic to totalitarian dictatorship. 6 months later, it was a one-party state, and we all know that that's from the Yahtzee party. Okay, Mark Ruffalo, who we've all known to be really political and stuff, politically biased, and now we see that he's an activist first and then actor second. He quoted a tweet that's saying, "Just for the record, history is repeating itself." Well, that's interesting because and I couldn't even show this because of YouTube and guidelines. It has up here in the photo from the tweet that was being quoted, a swastika from the Yahtzee party. Okay, and what the fact of the matter is, he quoted that he's insinuating that this is also in relation to the upcoming elections and stuff, where Donald Trump and stuff will be reelected, and that's why he decided to go ahead and do this. Now, this here by Mark Ruffalo is a controversial tweet, and of course, Gina Carano had to chime in because of the fact that, well, she was posting something that was of a similarity to the topic itself, but it was like the fact of the matter is like more conservative, and of course, Hollywood doesn't like that. So she hit back at him, and I'm going to read this lengthy post on X. Gina Carano says, "Double standards on full display. It's a constant and obvious elephant in the room in Hollywood. There's an example after example, such as Mark Ruffalo's below." Then she quoted his tweet that prove this, whom, by the way, I believe should have the right to express himself without getting fired. She's talking about Mark Ruffalo, although I cringe at the most of all of his political posts. He is an actor, but he is a human being passionately engaging in something that he feels strongly about. It must be a nice feeling to express yourself so freely. Not everyone in this country has that privilege without having everything that they love taken from them. Do we wonder why he has that privilege and I did not? The answers are in my case. Now Gina Carano is referring to Mark Ruffalo being able to express his political beliefs and everything freely as a liberal, whereas she, with her conservative views, she got fired for sharing her viewpoints and stuff. So Gina Carano is making this stand right here, and Gina Carano is also making it known. Now, to continue, Gina Carano continued with, "I know people will prefer basketball players just to dribble, or actors to just act. But when you're in a world where lives are being destroyed and lost all around you, how does any human being become forced to stay silent when death by injustice surrounds them?" Disney and Lucasfilm maliciously twisted the narrative of a meme I posted, which was encouraging neighbors not to demonize their neighbors, or history could repeat itself. And that's simply what Gina Carano was actually stating in that tweet back then. They twisted that meme. Disney and Lucasfilm twisted that meme into saying that I was denigrating people off of their cultural and religious beliefs. It was suggested that I was comparing Republicans to the Jewish people in the Holocaust, something that I never said or posted, which is right. And I called no one a Yahtzee. I did not deny the Holocaust. And then she also stated, to read that last sentence again, "I never did this, yet I was smeared as an anti-Semite. That doesn't seem to happen to a certain group of people that choose to use these comparisons as well. Why is that? The rules for thee and not for me group. So what are the rules exactly? This lie was fed to you by the corrupt media based off a statement from Disney and Lucasfilm, who have since doubled down on their slander towards me. The narrative took on a life that of its own, while my own life and career were tossed aside. The media repeated and repeated this lie until it became an untruthful fact to many who aren't the best at doing their own research, who instead listen to fake news and what we've seen journalism, quote unquote, digress into spare a few brilliant journalists. A demoralized society becomes angry. Becomes hungry for propaganda, willing to give up their rights and the rights of others. It causes division and drives societies into a mob mentality, picking on a group of people, turning a neighbor against neighbor. It is one of the largest reasons the gates were open for the Yahtzees to come into power in the first place. And Gina Carano continues saying, this way of doing things cannot be what we base condemning and destroying people's livelihoods and careers off of. The media manipulates the masses so easily based on their affiliations with large corporations and powerful people who signal and encourage them to destroy. So in other words, Gina Carano states here that a lot of corporations today, especially those in the entertainment industry, are aligning themselves with liberal causes as well as liberal companies and liberal politicians, and basically demonizing those who are conservatives as well as looking to counsel them. This, and Gina Carano goes on to continue to say this: where my case stands as of now, the impending Gina Carano lawsuit, we are patiently waiting with respect to the judge's ruling on whether she will grant or deny Disney and Lucasfilm to dismiss the case that I brought against them. My hope is that my case brings balance back to every broken industry. My case is not just for people who think exactly like me, but for everyone who will be and as has been placed in this position. Let's restore the balance, something that I believe the majority of the industry desires, just as I believe the majority of our beautiful country desires as well. We can have conversations where we don't agree. In fact, we just might learn something from each other through more conversations. Conversation over cancellation, like I've said from the beginning. And that's an interesting way that she put it, okay? Now, we have here, of course, you know, a lot of actors and actresses doing these kind of things, and we all know that Mark Ruffalo has done these things. Now, I disagree with him and stuff, but it's also saddening that he's not being sent canceled the same way as Gina Carano has. So, Mark Ruffalo, who played the Incredible Hulk for Disney's MCU, posted that controversial statement on July 1st, comparing America to a Yahtzee period in Germany, sparking a debate. Now, many are questioning if Mark Ruffalo will face the same consequences, repercussions as Gina Carano did, who was fired from Lucasfilm for a social media post, okay? Now, Gina Carano got fired from her role in The Mandalorian, and after Gina Carano posted a meme on social media, as she stated in this post. In this meme, Gina Carano compared the current political climate in the United States to Yahtzee Germany. Now, a lot of people thought the post of Gina Carano was really insensitive and inappropriate, and Kathleen Kennedy saw that as an opportunity to actually get rid of Gina Carano, as I've stated before. Yet no one said the same for Mark Ruffalo. Now, Gina Carano points out the apparent double standards, the actual double standards in Hollywood, where some actors can freely express political views without repercussion. And Gina Carano acknowledges Mark Ruffalo's right to express his views, but at the same time shared differences with her own experience of being fired for her posts. And Gina Carano discusses how her life and career were ruined due to social media posts and the narrative pushed by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, Gina Carano says Disney and Lucasfilm were twisting her words and her intentions, leading to Gina Carano being labeled unjustly as a right-wing troll. And Gina Carano also mentions her ongoing legal battle against Disney and Lucasfilm, hoping that's going to bring a lot of balance to the industry itself and protect free expression. And also, Gina Carano criticized the media for manipulating narratives and driving societal divisions. Mark Ruffalo, on the other hand, has been very vocal about his political views, and Mark Ruffalo has made some pretty controversial statements in the past. But out of all of this, Mark Ruffalo didn't even face the same consequences that Gina Carano faced. And it seems like Disney, being a huge corporation, has a lot of different standards for different actors, situations, and sexes. Okay, so from this post that I showed with Mark Ruffalo made a comparison of Yahtzee Germany on one of his politically charged posts, and some people found this post from Mark Ruffalo offensive too. But there wasn't any public statement from Disney about the employment status of Mark Ruffalo, so it seems that Mark Ruffalo is still working for Disney. Now, it's also important to note that the entertainment industry can be really subjective when it comes to these different matters. And different actors may be treated differently based on several factors. And this could include how popular they are, how severe of what they were did or said, and how the public react to their actions. So while Gina Carano faced a lot of serious consequences, Mark Ruffalo managed to avoid the same repercussions that are possibly due to these different factors that I just shared. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, how do you feel about this? Do you think that Mark Ruffalo should get the same treatment, or do you think that Gina Carano it wasn't fair against Gina Carano and stuff? Or do you think it was fair? But as far as I'm concerned, it's like the public. It shows that a lot of people in the public didn't really respond to Mark Ruffalo because of the fact that his stuff wasn't put out there as Gina Carano's stuff was put out there, and this was put out there by those who are like possibly bots on Twitter, as well as those who are fake accounts, or even Disney shows themselves. Okay. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, let me know what went wrong in the video. Be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have with this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, and you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.